Okay. So you guys are in for a special treat. That's a lie. Anyways, I've had a couple of people recently tell me like their coming out story. Also, a couple of people that I talked to and kind of told them what to expect coming out. And they keep asking me my story, and I haven't told it yet, considering how many videos that I've made, and especially about a lot of the topics that I've talked about. You'd think it would have come up at some point in time. But the reason why I haven't talked about my coming out story is my mom totally ruined my coming out story. What do I mean by that? I just finally gotten out of, denial with myself about it, because I've always kind of known, but I went into the whole being homophobic thing instead of homosexual. Anyways, the point is, I've never told my coming out story because I didn't get the chance to do it for myself. My family did it for me. So I have no brave tell or something to be proud of myself for. What most people go through is tremendously scary. You have to think of, how am I going to say this? who am I going to tell? And when am I going to do it? Is this okay? Am I going to get kicked out? Blah, blah, blah. I never got the chance to worry about that kind of crap, because I just admitted it to myself, and I was still thinking, okay, well, even though I'm gay, I'm not going to live that way, right? Until the show L Word comes along. Alright, all you lesbians know the L Word. If you don't, you need to, because then you're obviously a baby lesbian. Point is, I wanted the box set, so I had to have my mom take me to the store to buy it. I was 17, and it was the day before my graduation, or no, I don't know. It was right before my graduation, high school graduation. And my mom said, well, what's this show about? And I told her, I have a hard time lying to my mom. And then she just straight up looked at me while she was driving and asked me if I was gay. Probably the most terrifying moment of my life, because I looked over and my mom started to cry. And I'm like, oh God, here it comes. She's going to be like, get the fuck out of my house, you disgusting freaking queer faggot motherfucker. I don't know. I was scared. But she said, no matter what, I'm going to love you, no matter what your choices are. This is going to be weird. And I said, you know what, Mom, I really don't want anybody else to know. I don't plan on acting out on it. Da-da-da-da. Of course, my mom, like she does, told my dad straight away. So my dad found out. And I kind of could tell my dad found out, because he was giving me the cold shoulder. And that was a little bit weird, because I was kind of like daddy's girl all the time. So then we had a family meeting, because I decided this is getting way out of hand. So we finally had a family meeting, and I tell my brothers and sisters that, that I was gay. And my older sister said, I knew it. And she also said, it's probably my fault, because I used to try to sleep naked when we shared a room, and I used to flash you all the time, and you just grew up liking that. I said, if anything, Alicia, that probably would have made me straight. And my little brother and sister, they didn't think anything of it. Of course, my little sister was a little too young to really understand what that meant, and she loved me no matter what. And my brother was like, cool, what ifs. So, I don't know, it was kind of hard. Even though my mom said she loved me no matter what, and I believe that she did, we had a rough time, me and my parents did. I mean, it's not to the point where it was ridiculously hard or whatever, but I did have to go to a psychiatrist. And my mom still thinks I'm going through a phase, but I think she'll think that until the day I die. And you know what? If that gives her some kind of relaxation and hope, then I don't really want to take it away from her. Even though it's kind of like, it's just not worth your time. I don't know. Oh, the worst part is I didn't even tell my friends. This drove me nuts because my sister told her best friend, who's kind of like a sister to me too now, but she told her best friend, Heather, who worked with one of my good friends from high school that I had classes with and everything. So Heather told the girl I worked with, that she worked with, that was my friend, and of course then by the time graduation day rolled around, pretty much everyone knew. And yeah, it was a little weird. But what do you do? I mean, I didn't even have a chance to tell a single soul, any of my close friends, any of my family. When it comes down to it, it was all done for me. So I can't really take as much pride and you know, really pat myself on the back for overcoming that. I mean, I overcame, you know, the stigmas and the, you know, the problems that came along with it, but I didn't ever have to say it myself. So the hardest part was done for me, and that's why I've never told my coming out story. But now you know, and hopefully nobody will ask me anymore, because it's really not that great of a story. Anyways, love you guys, peace.